Hello, everybody. Welcome into a Tuesday edition of the Computer America program. Thanks for joining us. We've got two interesting guests. Brio is going to be joining us in the second hour talking about electrical sockets that are high-tech and are safe and very interesting. We'll talk about that. And in the first hour, Science for the Masses is going to be here. We have both of the co-founders here with us tonight talking about human augmentation and how technology is making people better. Seeing in the dark, that type of thing. Seeing in the dark, exchanging lenses. No, that's a different song. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show as we start Computer America.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And welcome into the Computer America show as we continue to make improvements and updating things on our website. Let me just tell you quickly how you can get in touch with us. If you have a question for any of our guests, give us a call at 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. We'll get you on and get you through. Email is live, L-I-V-E, at computeramerica.com. And if you go to our chat room and you go to our homepage there's a button that says chat room/live video. Just click that. And on the left-hand side, you'll see our brand new chat room. You can make it full screen if you'd like, and just go ahead and begin typing, and you can join us right in the Computer America chat room. I believe you have to pick some sort of a username when you first do it, and that'll be the name you'll be known by when you go in there. And then sharing that same page on the right-hand side is our live Computer America video streaming page. It'll start up automatically when you go there. Just watch it go in there, and because not only can you listen to the Computer America show, you can watch the Computer America show. You can see myself, you can see my co-host Ben, and all of his new exciting video accoutrements that he has added to his screen. And you can also see our guests for the most part. Most of our guests are there. It is still a work in progress. A couple of things are not correct in Ben's.
Pardon our dust.
Yes, exactly. We still has his lower third on over his regular screen. And
It turns on automatically. I don't know what to tell you.
All right, we'll just turn it off, and then the banner scrolling on also will be updated in time. So we're refining it, getting it all up and running, and but anyhow. We welcome you to join us in our chat room and call us if you have a comment or question for our guests as we talk. Looks like now you're in space, Ben.
Yeah, I thought it'd be fitting for what we're trying to do here, in that I'm going to be having space images behind me because this whole month is involving space. It's I don't know if Star Wars really counts as part of that, but this month is devoted to space. We're going to have a couple of guests on. I hear some astronauts, but not too sure on that one. But astrophysicists for sure. Other scientists and things like that, mainly involving space. So that's the goal this month. Last month was financial awareness. The month before that was for science. This month is for space.
All right. Well, very cool. All right. Well, that's so that'll get you started here, and I think we're all set and ready to go. And if we have time, we'll do some computer and technology news, and that'll be brought to you by Slimware Utilities. They are the official optimization software of Computer America. All right. Let's just get started. We've got lots of things to talk about. Let's get our first guests on. Actually, our first guest is actually not one but two people. We have both of the co-founders on with us. The name of the company is called Science for the Masses. Okay. Now, Science for the Masses is an independent team of research-minded individuals dedicated to making the tools and resources of science more available to the layperson. Their mission is to aid in the development of citizen science. They want to see the tools and resources necessary to perform scientific research made available to anyone that wants them. To this end, all of their research is and will be published free and open source, and will be repeatable by the layperson, basically meaning no multi-million-dollar lab equipment required. Here to explain further are both co-founders, Gabriel Lucena and Jeff Tibbetts. Gentlemen, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
Excellent. How are you doing?
Hi. How's it going?
Hi, doing fine. So,
Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thanks for joining us, and welcome to the show. So let's talk a little bit about, I sort of explained it in my introduction, but why don't you tell our listeners what Science for the Masses is all about, and why don't we start off with either of you? Why don't you just tell us?
Would you like to start?
Okay. Well, what it really comes down to is that both of us have backgrounds in traditional, either academia or medical fields, and it really turns out that there's a lot of things that are really cool, really interesting that people could do that they're told that they can't do, or that they don't have the access of information to do, and so it's kind of this stagnant field where none of us can cross type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, essentially, the future that we've been fed has gone from when you're a child thinking, I want to be an astronaut, or I want to, do something this and this, but it's really become a they are going to do. We're waiting for the Google future. We're waiting for the, a future to be given to us, products to be made and handed to us, and it's a shame. I mean, we live in an era when really the availability of the scientific method, the tools and such. I mean, it's something that really people should be taking advantage of.
Everybody has access to that information. They should be playing with these things. So they should be kind of like getting out there and trying those things out. And this goes from like electrical engineering, the maker community. You've got the grinders, you've got the transhumanists, you've got people in other countries that are working with 3D printing, and so who are we to say that you can't have a good time and explore the world?
Yeah, we luckily live in an era where if you say the Earth revolves around the sun, you don't get stoned for being a heretic. If you turn one substance into another, you don't get burned at the stake for being a witch. There's no really risk factor, but at the same time, I guess
They do talk a lot of shit though.
Yeah, we've gone the other direction is the problem, because you talk about for example, the world revolves around the sun, but the problem is while the majority of people may believe this, they don't know why they believe this. We repeat what we've been told, and yet, how many people have actually gone out and tested this idea? How many people have sought actual evidence?
What do you mean? Are you telling us that the Earth really does not rotate around the sun?
No, absolutely not. No.
No, we're simply saying, have you actually looked at
Do
the evidence
you know
yourself?
how these things work? Have you actually taken a few hours out of every day to go out and understand
How we know what we know?
or why your toaster freaking works?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of what we do, we sort of take on scientific faith. I mean, I don't need to know why my car starts up and gets me from point A. I don't need to be a mechanic or understand the intricacies of it. I mean, I just know that it works, and
No. Actually, this right here is the problem. Okay, So you don't need to know all the things about being every particular aspect of being an auto mechanic. However, if your car breaks down, wouldn't it be nice to like go out and fix that thing?
Or
No,
simply
I
have
call
it not be magical to.
Yeah, or like not be like, and then somebody else, like a wizard, comes down and fixes
no,
the car. And
I
so
just
here's the thing.
I just call AAA, and that's it, and they show up and they
Right.
fix it.
So that's a Twitter aspect, but
Yeah,
we like that.
in a lot of
Like
ways, a lot of things in life that's acceptable. And that is how a lot of people treat. But too many people treat their whole lives this way. Too many people. I mean, what specialties, or without going into a specialty, too many people treat their lives without actually seeking understanding. We, like you said, this scientific faith that's a misnomer. There should be no such thing. If you're actually talking
that's
science,
the worst way to express it.
Don't get me wrong. I completely, I have a belief, or I believe that the theory of evolution is valid. However, you know what? I've taken quite a few classes, and I've cultured quite a few bacteria, and I understand this. So for someone to be criticizing Christianity and this creation myth and this and that, and being like, this is ridiculous, you're an idiot for thinking this.
You
Well,
use the
is,
word faith.
Yeah, I mean, if you're simply having faith in someone else that's providing this information without really truly understanding anything about it, you're just as guilty.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Now, I mean, look, you have to kind of throw in some reason here. Given that we have so much to do in living our lives, you can't understand every aspect. When I turn on the television, I don't need to know how a flat screen works. I just know that it comes on. When I hook it up to cable,
Actually, no.
There you go.
Okay.
Roll it. I got to go for it.
I knew Craig was a
Go
problem.
for it, buddy. Go for it.
Well, I mean, I'm saying when I go about my day-to-day business, I don't need to go and take the time to understand how every single little facet of my life works. I just go ahead. And because I have other things that I need to do to make a living, to enjoy my family, I don't. If I got myself involved in the minutia of every little scientific thing that was involved that I was doing, I wouldn't have time to live my life. I'm not saying that I should live in total ignorance, but at the same time, you have to temper it with a certain degree of reasonability, is what I'm saying.
There's a really interesting article that came out. I was actually talking about what was it, intelligence excess or something like that. It was basically like, now that we live in a post-industrial society, we actually have like a huge amount of time to waste. And so what are we going to do with that time? And it could be like actually paying attention to our lives and all the little minutia that we use, or we have developed the sitcom, which is a thing that we totally did. Like there's this study, this big talk that they just came out with recently, where they talk about how you basically have learned how to fill up your excess brain space with sitcoms, because otherwise you might actually be doing something.
All right.
Like,
Well, look, let's do this. Why don't we talk a little bit about some of the things that you're doing, and because I know there's some people in here. So let's do that. And now I understand that one of the things that you've done on human augmentation is, like, for example, you had an experiment where you could see in the dark by adding, I believe, certain drops or something to your eyes. Why don't you talk a little bit about how that experiment worked, or pick one that if you don't want to talk about that one, pick one that you'd like to talk about.
No, C6 is that's
cool
been
project.
Advertised more than anything.
Everybody's really excited about that.
Yeah. Okay. So C6 project. What it was is C6 is a chemical that was isolated from the eyes of freshwater fish, indicating that they may actually be using this as some means of enhancing their visual process.
Or vegetables.
Yeah. I mean, it's in just about everything. I mean, it's used as a food colorant actually. So it's not as if we don't actually have this type of thing in our diet, just not at the doses we're talking about.
Okay. All right.
So administration of this, we administer it to the eye. It's used in a few other things. Okay, so it's used actually as a photosensitizer for certain cancer treatments. It's had a few other uses, but its research has indicated that in the eyes of rats and a few other organisms that yes, it seems to work to augment human vision to be able to see in the dark. It does bind to opsins, and it works similar to how, for example, vitamin A might work in your eye.
All right. So I understand you took these drops and you actually put them in Gabriel's eyes. You actually administered some. And what was the
Against his
result?
will. That must have been difficult.
You strapped him down to the table,
No, bring it up! Bring it up!
and you put them in.
Find the pictures.
Were you able to see in the dark? I mean, did it work for you, Gabriel?
The short answer is yes.
Yeah, that's a really weird, subjective kind of short answer type of thing.
Yeah, okay, I'll tell you what. There are definite problems. Okay, so since we use the terminology science, we have not gathered adequate empirical data in order to say yes, we have done this thing. There's enough subjective data to say yes, this is very interesting, and the electroretinograph data that we're going to be gathering next, that should indicate with enough certainty that we can say yes. I'm pretty convinced. I certainly wouldn't pass peer review and be published in a journal at this point in time, but we're working on that.
But on a step of 1 to, hey, does it work? We're probably at a 7. We're moving on to the next steps. We're actually trying this thing. Like, the whole thing is that, like, everybody got really excited about this because the pictures were flashy. We didn't actually know that this was going to happen. We kind of just thought that a bunch of people were going to hang out at our house and we were going to do this thing. And then, like, everybody, it kind of turned into a big thing. And it's like, and then everybody started talking about it, and we're like, hey, this is actually just like a preliminary step. We just wanted to make sure that it didn't suck.
Yeah, we pretty much went through the let's make sure this doesn't melt his eyes. Let's do enough research to indicate that what we're doing is safe. And after that, try it out, before we move forward, see if we want to move forward with it.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're squinting a little bit, Gabriel. Is it? did it? No, it didn't melt the corneas, or it didn't hurt you in any way.
No. My eyes have been fine. I've had no issues with vision. It's been like 2.5
months.
3 months.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So we're it's totally fine.
So do you practice all these experimentations on yourself? Is that
well, that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, one, you can't like ask somebody to do something that you're not going to do yourself,
Sure.
right? And two, we literally legally can't ask somebody to do something that we're not going to do ourselves.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues with liability. When you go through academia, there's entire boards that determine if you're allowed to do this, if you're not allowed to do that. If you're not going through that, then you are definitely taking on liability. Fortunately, I'm not going to get sued by Gabriel, so I'm not worried.
Yeah,
about
it's
that.
like who am I going to sue? Who am I going to sue for the project that I developed?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what undergrads are for.
Well, yeah, give me some university dime.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
We're looking at some of the pictures in the background behind Ben here, where you actually administered the drops to you. So we're actually seeing this. If you're watching the Computer America show on our live video stream, you can actually see Ben and the website. Now, did one of the questions from our chat room was animal testing ever on the table, or did you want to go straight to human augmentation?
Yeah, you know what? Animal testing is not off the table entirely for
but
the
it's
possibility.
already been done with this.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The whole point was that we were taking this to the next step. Animal testing has already been done. Like, they've done this in murine. They've actually injected it into rats. They've dropped it into rats' eyes. They've already done all of this stuff. It's not like we're like completely out there like making stuff up. This has years of scientific study behind it. We were just taking it to the next step at this particular point.
Yeah, what it comes down to is this: is that basically when you're looking at some of the research that's been done on it, it's for the most part hasn't been determined to be useful in a medical setting. So it hasn't been found particularly. I mean, it has been found to boost dim light vision in certain populations who have
Like
perhaps
RP?
diseases, certain retinopathies that they have dim light vision problems. But the thing is is apparently the medical industry has determined that it's not profitable enough to pursue at this point in time. So what we're doing, we're not really dealing with something from the perspective of turning it into something that's going to help those with a disorder. And because of that, if you look at, hey, we could kill 100 animals here trying to do this thing, you wouldn't kill 100 animals in order to, I don't know, make a new pair of sunglasses that are cool. I mean, we're not talking about something that's going to treat a medical condition, so it's almost hard to justify doing something like animal testing. I mean, I'm not against animal testing.
But it could treat a medical condition.
It could, but the research we're doing won't necessarily lead to that. Yeah.
It can, it might.
And that would justify animal testing at that point.
Right.
But what we're doing in particular, if I'm not going to be helping all of these people, then what are we, killing animals for fun? I mean, it's kind of sick.
That's kind of tacky.
Yeah, so
it's super tacky.
Yeah, so once again, I'm not against the idea of animal testing. I'm just saying I really think if you're going to get into the realm of animal testing, you really have to have a clear-cut motivation towards, the amount of suffering that you induce has to be worth something. And I don't think this is necessarily justifies that.
Another question from our chat room. A question he wants to know if you are examples of humans who want to artificially modify themselves.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, bring it on.
We just had a guest on the show. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. Mox is the company, and they do like 3D printed sculptures and organic sculpting and things like that. Which is very cool, but they're also working on, surprisingly, the name will.i.am got dropped, but they're also working on augmented eyes, where pretty much they would grow eyes in some kind of lab setting and then be able to connect them up, and they'd be, not just replacement eyes, but better eyes that would be.
That's a bold move. I'd love to see where they go with that.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah. That conceptually that's cool. I think both of us would probably. Hey, by all means, contact us on the biohack.me board.
I
know
Gabriel.
People are gonna just talk shit.
Yeah, Gabriel's definitely worked with 3D printing of cells, and it's something we're definitely interested in getting into. It's definitely a step above some of the stuff that we're currently working on. So you're looking at the difference of years
and
that's years.
That's
the
entire
bold
infrastructure. Claim.
And that's when you get into the utility of that's a cultural level tool we're talking. That's something. There's a reason why research like that happens in usually larger companies. I'm not sure how large this company is, but
we have a. Okay, they have excellent graphics. That doesn't.
Yeah, that is cool.
That doesn't
very
actually
flashy.
mean that there's any hard research. Can I see some reference papers, please? As a scientist, can I see some reference papers?
And I guess that kind of circles back around to what we were saying at the beginning of the hour was, you don't have to go out there and do the research yourself, but be skeptical of everything.
Well, or just actually want to see some work. Okay.
Skepticism is good. No,
we actually love it. We actually love skepticism. We like it when people talk shit.
Yeah. As far as this kind of thing goes, it's like, well, I don't know, man. It sounds very interesting. I'd love to see what they come out with. There's a lot of people doing a lot of very interesting.
Yeah,
Can you send me a link?
We'll look
sure.
at
It's very theoretical, and as for actual sources to research papers and things like that, not finding it directly on the site, but.
Okay. One of the things that we actually really stand behind, you can roll through, you can look at our write-up. We actually source all our work. Okay, we may be doing a little bit edgy out there stuff, but we do source our work.
But you're still in the realm of reality.
There it is. Thank you.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts on things like this, like a human augmentation? I know you're doing some. The last video I watched, you were adding magnets. I don't know, was it subcutaneously, Gabriel, to your hand, so you could do that? What are your thoughts about things like that? Do you think that?
Well, we were doing the thing, so I guess we're pretty okay with that. We developed the magnet basically the top line magnet coating for that type of thing. So I guess we're kind of behind that. And then I guess beyond that, why would you not be excited about being more than you are?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so that's, I've always, okay, so I'm a nurse. Being a nurse, the reason I'm a nurse is because, I've always been interested, how do I make the world a better place? How can I help people? And you look at stuff and oh God, we have plenty of arguments and discussions regarding politics or religion or philosophy and all of these things. But, the real issue, I think that people are flawed, man. I mean, look at all of
people
this stuff.
People kind of suck. Actually,
yeah, I mean,
no, wait. This is actually a conversation about evolution. Okay.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. You're like, I gotta reseat myself.
Yeah.
This is a conversation about evolution. Okay. You know what? What it really comes down to is evolution is not being about the best thing out there.
Yeah, it's surviving long enough to breathe. That's
you have your nose above the waterline. This is the definition of evolution. Okay, we are not the top of the food chain. No thing here is the best thing ever. No, that's a thing. Don't make that face. I can see your face.
Yeah, I mean, the point is this, is we're very well suited. Evolution has made us very well suited.
We've done a good job at
certain things.
Not dead.
Yeah, but when you get into something where now we have multinational corporations...
Being not dead is actually...
Well, long enough to have sex and procreate and all that fun.
Yeah, well, it depends on what country you're in, I guess.
Do you think that we all should have little magnets in our fingertips? Do you think as this part of the,
No, but I think everyone should be driven to want to better themselves or to enhance themselves.
It's not about what we want.
That's the mantra of plastic surgery. Make yourself better, so...
Don't you want to be better?
Well, yeah, and I think that was the conversation...
No, I'm asking you.
And I think that was the conversation we were trying to have with Mox, when they were on the show, was at what point does... because science really seems to be trying to catch up right now to, okay, you're missing a leg, here's a prosthetic. You're missing an arm, here's a prosthetic. Like, they're trying to catch up to the point where they can replace things, but what's going to happen as a society when people are no longer just trying to get by and replace things, they're actually enhancing and upgrading things. Like, what is that going to do for the whole market?
We don't have a structure that supports that idea. When you look at the FDA, when you look at the medical industry,
there's no model for that.
That doesn't exist. No one is interested in doing these things, and that's what we're really interested in doing. And it's not just us. I mean, there's a lot of people.
Rich Lee, there's Tim Cannon, there's Emil Grafstra. I mean, there's a bunch of people that are actually already doing this. There's a huge community that's just like...
Yeah, and it seems like, magnets, this is a trivial thing. These magnets, okay, so this is what they can do. You implant a magnet subcutaneously, and it will vibrate when it's near an electromagnetic spectrum. This vibration is translated into a sensation, so yeah, you can actually sense the electromagnetic spectrum. It's a very minor thing, but, I mean, other projects are...
But, wait,
okay, go
pause.
For it.
But the computer you're typing on, the microphone you're talking into, the headphones you're wearing, these are all giving off electromagnetic frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
So it changes how you interact with the world.
Like, would you like to sense a little bit more of the world? Or do you want to just say, I'm good the way that I am?
I guess when I go to a movie and I have to put on the 3D glasses, that's kind of a, but the point is it doesn't have to be, I don't have to have it biometrically attached to my body. If I want these different abilities, I can certainly put on a pair of glasses or put on a pair of gloves rather than just having it built in.
Well, good point. You know what? That's one of the things that drives us too. Is it isn't good enough to just do this thing for fun. There is no way. We played with different haptic glove systems and things like this. It's not the same. It does not function.
Actually, he's kind of talking about the hand purse thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So the analogy that you're making is about I can put on the glasses and they make the movie 3D, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Your world is already 3D. Mm-hmm. It does that thing all the time. Mm-hmm. Having a prosthetic that makes the screen 3D is kind of extraneous, right?
Yeah, but we have these 3D TVs now where you don't have to wear the glasses, although they're much more limited, but they do have the technology.
But the world is still 3D.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you feel the electromagnetic frequency? Do you know that that thing is there? Can you
And
actually do that without some other thing? There's this whole concept. Your body is not a purse, okay? If you can put it on your face, if you can make the movie be a 3D, you can put it on a screen and make it 3D. Okay, like we do 3D all the time. Very 3D.
Yeah.
His hair especially.
Yeah.
Okay? Like this is happening, it's 3D all the time.
Yeah, good
You
example.
can't actually feel this thing. You have no frame of reference. You
Yeah.
can't actually do this. So it's not about glasses that you can put on. It's not about a ring. It's not about some sort of glow.
Yeah. No, I understand. Listen, gentlemen, the music means we're at the bottom of the hour, and we're going to take a little commercial break, and then we'll come back and talking about this. One of the questions that on our chat room, they want to know if you could have any superpower, what would it be? All right, so you think on that. You're listening to the Computer America Show. We're talking to both the co-founders of Science for the Masses. Got a news tips full review from Marty Winston coming up. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they are available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect day and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
Oh, look, you came back. Hi, this is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the WIPAC, that's W-I-P-A-C-K, Protean Puck. We got in the new WIPAC for review because of a product we've not yet had in hand, the new Samsung Galaxy S6. With no easy way to swap batteries, it makes us as stuck as an iPhone user. WIPAC is a thin, roughly handset-sized, 3,000 milliamp hour power puck with both key, that's QI, inductive charging, and a USB port for charging phones absent that cordless option. We've used power pucks and power puck daisy chains before to help our handset power status bars stand taller, but this is the first one that makes it more convenient to unholster the handset without towing a cable. We were able to do a function test with an Asus Nexus 7 tablet, and to be absolutely candid, when we saw the little lightning bolt on the battery icon, the smile was spontaneous. Bottom line, the WIPAC 3,000 milliamp hour power puck for both 1 amp cable connected and wireless key inductive charging rocks. This is Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. We have Science for the Masses here with us right now, and but before we get to the question in the chat room about what superpower would you have, before we get to that, I just kind of want to continue the conversation a little bit where we left off before the break, and I was kind of thinking, we were talking about televisions and things like that, and the world's already in 3D. It seems like for the last however long you consider electronics and technology to go back, technology has been trying to, or at least technology to entertain people has been trying to imitate real life. Go with 3D, go with surround sound, go with whatever. I mean, it's just another way of trying to immerse you in an experience that can trick your brain into thinking it's real. And I think that
brain does, dude.
Yeah. And do you think at a point in the near future, like probably within our lifetimes, we're going to have to go probably beyond reality a little bit? Something that's, an experience that's so immersive that that you can't fly, but you imagine that you're flying, or some technology is going to take us in a place that we haven't been before, and we can't go without it.
Awesome.
Is this a question?
Yeah.
There was a question mark there. I missed it.
Which way do you think technology is going to take us? Is the point of entertaining technology, especially, just to trick us into thinking that we're there, in Seinfeld, and we think we're all having these funny moments? Like, where is this all going to lead?
I would say no.
I got this.
Okay.
Because no, you've got that. It's called real life. It's a thing. You should do it. It's entertaining. Like, people laugh. The stories have to do about nothing. Yeah, that really is. I mean, that was the whole point of Seinfeld, is that is real life. Is the point of technology to get to that? I guess so. I mean, a lot of the technology that we use right now is for escapism, but a lot of the technology that we use is for augmentation. It's just to make the things that we do more like the things that we do, so we could be actually more Seinfeld than we are now.
Yeah, I mean, look at sports. I mean, this is a billion at this point?
God.
Yeah, multi-billion-dollar industry.
Ridiculously high.
What is it doing? It's an outlet so that our base
I do love
animalistic,
being a monkey.
our
I
base
do love
animalistic
being
things.
a
What do we like
monkey.
to do? It's like, you know what, I want to stab something, or I want to go out and I want to bang the hottest chick, and I want this and this, and you know what? That's what sports gives us. You look at television. What does something like Seinfeld give us? Feels like real friends, man. I want to hang out with Kramer. He seems cool as hell, and for somebody who's isolated, someone who that's not their only demographic, but you know what? It makes you feel like you have friends.
Oh yeah,
it really does.
Normalizes. It normalizes.
Yeah, and but that actually kind of indicates there's an underlying sickness here. If we have the need for this, I mean, it seems that you could actually create this in your real life.
How many? Okay, so what? Seinfeld's like a 45-minute show after commercials, but maybe let's say 35 minutes.
Fantastic.
35-minute. Yeah, no, that's funny. 35 minutes after commercials, 5 days a week. I don't know. What could you do if you did something else 5 days a week? Like, maybe even, I don't know, go out and have a random conversation with some people at a cafe.
I've heard the same argument before, where I was playing Rock Band and Craig was like, Ben, you're spending so much time on this stupid plastic guitar. You can go learn to play the guitar. I've heard it before, but I still love playing video games.
Thing, man. However, it doesn't scale. Okay, if you spend like 2 or 3 hours a day in Guild Wars, don't go out there and pick up a sword. It's not the same thing. Like, Rock Band actually has some like dexterity built into it. There's no actual, like, I could lift a sword up things in Guild Wars, so don't do that.
Yeah, I'm not against entertainment. It's just not it's not an area of interest in terms of how technology is going, just to be honest. I mean, it's like, sure.
I like entertainment.
It's fine, but you know what? As far as that goes, it'll exist there. But I do think that perhaps we're going overboard. I think
kind of kind of wasting.
Yeah, live your life, man. At
Wasting
least
a little bit of time.
Some kind of balance between the two. I mean, getting too involved in this, it's like, yeah, you're right. We're going to have far more immersive environments, and you know what? On one level, it's a good thing. On other levels,
have
we're
you
going to
gone out and looked at trees?
I,
Amazing.
yeah, I garden in my spare time. No, but you're right. I think we kind of deviated into entertainment. Excuse us. That's kind of what we do every night. But to go back to what you guys are focused on, access to tools and information, transhumanism, importance of scientific method, that kind of thing. I mean, what tools do you? We have your website up here, scienceforthemasses.org. What tools do you provide people that you think that they should check out if they wanted to turn off the TV and go look at a tree leaf? Like, what would you recommend people do on your site, or do in general?
I use LeafSnet.
heavy.
Wow, that's that is
Heavy.
okay. So for one of the things that we've been saying a lot lately is read the write-up, do the research. Like, you don't. It's like any other.
Okay, you know what? I'm sure you guys know the transhumanists. The transhumanists, what would you call this? Movements?
It is, no, they're a movement.
Okay, they're a movement.
They're a
Okay, we
movement.
can call this
They're a
the
movement.
transhumanist movement. Okay, so here's the thing. If you get involved and you look at the transhumanist movement, at least a proportion, 80% proportion, these are people that are big fans, And so one of the things I think
That's
important.
really fair of you.
Yeah, I know. That's as much justice as I can pull out of my soul. But no. Here's
So
the thing.
most of them.
The vast majority, they're fans, and you know what? So that's one of the things that we really advocate for is, you need to be doing at least as much as you're speaking. It's really, there's so many cool possible projects, and there's a lot of web boards. For example, biohackme.me is a great site for people to get involved, and there's a lot of people who are really interested. And the number of potential projects out there are huge. And you get people really interested, and they'll talk about it for years, and that's not enough. Okay, so you really need to actually do. If you're going to talk about something, do as much as you're talking about. It's not good enough to be posting Facebook updates on this company's got this new cool product coming out or something like this. Second, sharing of information. I mean, that site that you posted to us, we'll check it out, but I'll tell you what, I'm not seeing a lot there that lets me really know what's going on. I don't understand it.
There's no journal papers. There's no links back to actual hard information. Okay, we're just a couple of.
Maybe I haven't found it yet. I'm not trying to be unjust.
We're gonna dig. We're gonna dig.
Yeah, but in a lot of cases,
we're a couple of guys in a garage. We do our research.
This is a lab.
Hey, we're a couple of guys in a lab.
Okay.
I've got a golden ticket. No, and we're gonna, but we link back to the papers that we reference. Okay. When
and we publish what we do as well. When
we
do something, regardless of whether the results are what we're looking for or not, we share it.
Yeah. So when it fucks up.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, please, gotta watch your language. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
We're on broadcast radio.
Watch it.
Yes. All right. So let's yeah. No, let me just ask you this. Does anybody give you guys money?
Sure. We actually
Sometimes.
surprising.
Sometimes.
I've been surprised by the amount of money people have given us personally. You know what? It's okay. So we do have some companies that we work with. We test biocoatings. And so some companies that are manufacturing certain products, it's like a very niche market, but we actually have some income coming from that. We're testing the biocompatibility of different coatings going on to certain devices. Aside from that, actually, you'd be surprised. You do cool things, and people think it's cool, and they give you money because they know that you're going to do something else cool with it. And that's actually, interestingly, been the case.
Yeah, no, this was like actually kind of a big talking point. I was like, no, man. Look, you're gonna do something cool, okay? If you actually, this is a whole nother topic, but it's very important. If you have to ask people to give you money, you're obviously not doing a good enough job.
Mm-hmm.
And we might go broke eventually. It could happen. We're putting a pin in it. But if you have to ask people to give you money,
we're not developing products. Okay, that's a given. When you look at CE6, the safety profile of CE6, there are some risks involved. So putting these drops into someone's eyes, yes, this could actually cause them harm. And because of that, it's obviously not going to become a product. So I'm not going to sell this. I'm not going to make money off it. However, we've demonstrated that you can make this thing that will enhance your dim light vision, which is really awesome.
It is cool.
Yeah. Okay, we worked with another substance. This is dihydroretinol. It's a variant of vitamin A that actually shifts the visual spectrum. And we got some pretty promising results there. ERG data seems to indicate we got up to nearly 850 nanometers. Okay, let me explain what that means.
950.
No, 850 with the slope of the LED.
Okay,
Yeah.
So
well,
with
anyways,
the peak,
okay. But anyways, the point is that, you know what, normal human vision falls between like 360 to 760, something like this. We were seeing light outside of the normal human visual spectrum. Okay, am I going to make money off of this? Oh, the lead up to it was 3 months of vitamin A deficiency, retinoic acid administration, which you need your liver labs drawn weekly on this.
People having like weird, like emotional responses.
Yeah, people going suicidal trying to be involved. Yeah, it's really weird stuff. It's not going to be a product, I guarantee you. So what people think it's awesome. They give us money.
But was it cool? And does it help you understand more about how a thing works? Like, do you want to give money to something that's flashy, or do you want to give money to people who, like, are working on how things, like, how you understand how the world works? Like, wouldn't you like to understand how things work just a little bit more?
I feel like that idea, 99% of people out there would say, yes, that's how we want research and development to work. But why is that so different than academia? Because there, I mean, we're hearing all the time about, especially Chinese papers, where I think it's like 40% or something like that. You can't replicate the results. It's showing the most promising papers, then get the money. Like, it's not is this cool? Can you verify that this?
The most promising papers. Sorry to cut you off, but it really isn't the most promising papers. It's because, as a person who's worked in academia, it's the most novel papers. It's the papers that make people excited. That's where you get your we turned blood cells into stem cells paper. That's where you get, well, most of the papers that have been redacted in the last year. Okay, it's not about being interesting. It's about being novel. We found this cool new thing. Dude, we're talking about some sort of thing that somebody was talking about like 7 years ago or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's not about like being super special and flashy. It's about like actually exploring where can this go? Like what can we do with this thing, as opposed to trying to find the next new thing and trying so hard, as he mentioned, that you actually
I don't need to be successful at what I do in order to guarantee my next round of funding. So I am far more willing. I don't need to publish in order to maintain.
We got no tenure.
There's no tenure here. I don't care. So you know what? We have the ability to either fail.
We do it because it's fun.
Yeah.
But don't you want the validation? I mean that.
Not really. Like,
validation in what way? Define what.
I don't know. I have a little self-worth, so. I'm just going to say no.
What do you mean by validation?
I mean that what you're doing is something that is of interest and that it matters to.
Can I take this?
Yeah, to other people.
Yeah, I'm just saying, can I take this?
Go for it.
Yeah, you know what? The normal person is dumb.
Okay.
Okay. The normal person is boring. The normal person actually cares about getting a TV dinner and a blowjob on Friday night, and that's all they care about. Like, I don't actually care about that thing.
Well, maybe validation from people who are more qualified than the guy
in your field.
I'm saying, people who are.
What we've found is that the people who are more qualified have a tendency to rest on tenure They have a tendency to
It goes
rest
back
on.
and forth. We've gotten some good results.
We have.
from
I
people.
mean, we
Okay,
have some. Yeah, but we
I'll
do
tell two
get this
stories.
thing.
There's two stories. Okay, so there's two different experiences that I think really point out the difference of how different people that I guess you would say are giving us what feedback, right? Okay, so for one, okay, so there was when we were working on one of the I projects. There was somebody doing an article. I don't remember the specific article, but they went to a guy, and his accolades are enormous. I mean, this guy's a god in the field of optometry.
Chock full of tenure.
And and he was interviewed, and they asked him, no, different person. They asked him, is this possible? And his answer was no. And that's kind of how they concluded the thing. And that's really not enough. That made me laugh because. It's just like, okay, well, yes, you really you have all of this background. However, it's
why.
not enough. It's not enough just simply to say no. That you can't rest on tenure. On the flip side of it is we had a guy who was really trying to chase us down on the CE6 thing, and he actually contacted a gentleman who had done some of the primary research we based it off of. And he's asking the guy, isn't this dangerous and irresponsible?
And dude is like,
man, that was fantastic. They did it. Wow. Yeah, he was
he's
really
like,
into
he's
it.
like,
Yeah.
he's like, I actually ended up trying that myself.
Yeah. So he beat us to it. Actually.
So
he just
yeah,
didn't,
he
put it
really
up,
did, but he never published it because he's not allowed to, because he's not allowed to talk about that. So
on one hand,
like,
people that
why
just are
would-
content with towing the
Line.
line, and then the flip side of it being, there's people who are really excited that there are people like us out there that are able to take the chances that they're not really allowed to.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: has the military contacted you on any of your projects?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay.
twice.
Yeah.
It was super
You
awkward.
say it with an air of I told the military to stop calling. We had a fun Friday night, but the military just won't get the
No,
message.
they're too scary for that, man. You
No,
just
they're
don't-
super creepy. You
Yeah.
just you don't text back, yo.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, no, ow. No,
Not interested.
dude, like, sent us, like, a couple of dudes have sent us, I'm going to say dudes because they had dude's name. I don't know if they're actually dudes. They could be ladies. I don't know.
Yeah, we pretty much from the beginning,
It's
I am
just
committed to not
creepy.
getting involved in such a
It's
thing.
just
It's-
creepy.
yeah, we're
It's
looking to make
just
people better,
creepy.
not make people better at killing each other. That's
Yeah, seriously.
Not my
And some
thing.
guy's like, hey,
oh, hey.
have you ever considered shooting people?
Yeah. No,
It's
no.
like,
Oh God, tell them about that. The dude in the bar, that vet we ran into.
oh my God. And so there's this guy, I'm like, we're talking about the project, and then he's like, you know what? You guys, this is how we killed Obama.
Yeah, it's.
And it just, like, you can't give that to other people. You can't have other people doing that. And like that, and this is just like, wow, really?
Yeah.
Like, could you be more insecure about your abilities, man?
Yeah, it's not terribly interested in working with the military. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd love some
Creepy.
I'd love some darker
Creepy.
plans,
I'd love the money.
though. Yeah.
I like it. Like, I've worked for academia. I like academia money, and academia money, let's be honest, it all comes from the military.
I think worse than the military was getting contacted. There was a gentleman who he's involved in one of those strange little shoddy, well, I wouldn't say it's shoddy, those scary little corporations that the military employs. It wasn't like BlackRock, but it was
Oh
the
no,
equivalent.
it was like
that was like
there was some
whoa!
like weird outlier
Yeah.
thing. He's like, oh, I just do research.
Yeah, but
You're like, yeah, I
scary
googled
guy.
you, dude.
You're a scary guy.
I googled you, and I saw your LinkedIn profile, and I'm actually super creeped out, and I'm never going to talk to you ever again.
Yeah.
Going on record. Wow. Could you? I mean, please give us money, but we're not going to ever talk to you because creepy.
Yeah, it comes back down to this idea that politics and this and that. It's no. We're not trying to make the system function better. We're not trying to operate within the system of where we have $60 billion or so being pumped into this military machine and all of this stuff. And it's like, hey, no, I'm not arguing. I'm not trying to sit here and be anti-American or any of these things. No, you misunderstand. I have just no interest in being involved in it myself.
Just don't.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying
not our party.
It's not. Yeah.
Not our party. We'd like to go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's perfectly functional for what it is.
Well, all right. I'll tell you what. All right. So it is and it isn't. What's next? What's your next experiment? What you think is the next thing for you guys?
Well, hey, we just did a really fun one the other day. Okay, so with these magnets, Gabriel got a magnet in his finger. I got one in mine. He's the control on this. And what it is, sure, we've done the magnet thing plenty of times. Only in this case, I injected 10 micrograms of a substance called beta nerve growth factor. And beta nerve growth factor, this is, for example, HSAN5. It's a medical condition where children are born without the ability to feel pain. It's because they have a genetic mutation, so they don't make nerve growth factor. Okay, so they don't feel pain. Flip side is it's also found in platypus. Okay, platypus venom specifically. So the male platypus, when he stings you, it's not like a normal venom. It's not necrotoxic. It's not a neurotoxin, but it turns into hyperalgesia, the pain. It can last for years on people, and
there's a guy that has like what 20?
Yeah, there's a recorded case of someone going pain for as long as 20 years. So basically, by doing this, what it does is it pulls the axons into the area. It causes neuron proliferation, axogenesis. It really basically all of the neurons in that area, the sensory neurons. They really move in and they become very dense in that area. So we're doing testing. We have a lot of people who already have magnets, and you can actually test and see their sensitivity, and we're seeing if it increases my sensitivity based on that. And it's really promising so far, I'll tell you that. Some weird sensations involved too, but it's fun stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, what can I say? You guys are doing some interesting stuff, and again, if you want to see more of this, you just go to computeramerica.com and click on our show notes button, and you'll see the website there, which is the Science for the Masses. We actually have a link to it, and that'll stay up for all time. We'll have that link to it, so you can see that and see what Gabriel and Jeff are up to next. It's the adventures of Gabriel and Jeff. Sometimes I feel like saying, but obviously you're doing some interesting things, and you can follow them along at their website. You can go again. It's scienceforthemasses.org. But again, as you said, you can go to our website and the show notes page, and we actually have a link to the website, and you can check it out for yourself. Anything else you want to let our listeners know, gentlemen? We got about a minute left that you'd like our listeners to know.
No, I think we really.
Yeah, you know what? If you're interested in this, get involved, man.
Yeah, do things.
The whole world's out there. There's, if you don't feel like you have skills that you could use for this, then go get those skills. There's edX. There's all kinds of ways to achieve it. Come on, man. It's the future. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, get out there, do some stuff.
All right. Well, listen, guys. Thanks again for being with us here on the show tonight. And again, it's scienceforthemasses.org. And I
have to say, more inspiring words, do stuff I have never heard. So, follow the advice.
Okay. All right, gentlemen. Thank you again for being here with and best of luck to you. All right, and on your endeavors. Okay.
Thanks.
All right, gentlemen. Good night. Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
Good night. All right, again, Science for the Masses, scienceforthemasses.org, and again, it'll be up at our website at computeramerica.com, and check it out for yourself. All right, coming up in the next hour, we're going to be talking to a company called Brio, B-R-I-O, Brio, and they make electrical outlets that are child safe. But it's more than that. The company is really into some interesting. Yeah. By the way, Ben, hold on a second, Ben. Why don't you talk?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So hopefully next hour we're gonna have Brio. We only have about a minute left here, but you can see here I have up on the chat room, and it's a way to hey, turn your house a little bit smarter. It seems to be all the rave lately is turning your home into a smart home without actually having to set up some kind of giant, $10,000, $15,000 system. Little devices that are connected through Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, what have you. And Brio is just another piece of that puzzle, trying to obviously help you create your smarter home without having to rewire or refix your house.
Yeah.
So,
all right. And by the way, I just heard from our guest. She's going to be calling in, and
right.
we're having a technical difficulty, but I'm sure we'll get that set up. But again, yeah, the company is called Brio, and they're going to be joining us in the second hour of the program. Again, head over to our website at computeramerica.com. As I said, it's a work in progress, but it continues to. On Thursday, we're going to have our webmaster, Aaron Crossman, going to be here with us, talking about all the cool things that they do. He's doing for the Computer America website. And that's all coming up on Thursday. In the meantime, as I said, we're going to be talking to Brio, and we're going to take a little break here, just a momentary break, and then we'll be back with another full hour of the Computer America Show. Again, 347-884-8881. We'll get you on and get you through, 347-884-8881. You listen to the Computer America program. Ben and I will take a short commercial break, and then we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Broadcasting live. It's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America. Hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into hour 2 of the nation's longest running nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
All right, Ben, take it while I talk to our guests.
All right, sure. So, in the first hour, we just had our guest on from scienceforthemasses.org. Definitely a website you should go check out. They do a lot of cool things. And obviously, they're open to contact if you ever wanted to know anything that we unfortunately weren't able to get to in our hour of an interview. But it seemed like a really good interview. No real complaints, but their takeaway from the all was don't believe everything you read. Go out and try things. Apparently turn off the TV and go look at a leaf for some reason. Actually apply some brain power to get the future. Here. So, but that was Science of the Mass. You can always check that out on our YouTube page.
Okay.
You can find that through our site. You can find a recording of it through Blog Talk Radio. All of our networks carry all of our archives and things like that. So you can check out our archives at our website. Show notes, links to everything. Perfect. And so hopefully you didn't miss it. But now, in this hour, hopefully we're going to get Brio home on.
Yes, and we do. We have them on. So let's get started now. Now, with this company, Brio, they say that each year thousands of children and adults are injured or killed through electrical hazards, fire, and other common household dangers. I find that pretty shocking.
Was that a pun?
No.
Well, I didn't think you'd be throwing puns out so soon.
No, that actually comes directly from their website. So, but it doesn't have to be that way. According to Brio, the world's safest, smartest power outlet. It's cool and sophisticated, yet infused with breakthrough technologies. Brio can make your home as safety smart as you. It employs state-of-the-art microelectronics to tell between things that need power and people that need protection. It can also use advanced wireless innovations and mobile technology to create a complete 24/7 home monitoring system that virtually eliminates shock hazards, plus keeps people safer by alerting them to things like smoke, flooding, and the presence of carbon monoxide. Brio, quite simply, revolutionizes the power outlet, helping people live better, sleep better, and enjoy a better quality of life. Now, joining us in this hour is Jocelyn Painter. Jocelyn is a Brio spokesperson. Jocelyn, welcome to Computer America. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Fine.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, sorry about the technical difficulties. Not sure. The phone number that it's showing is not the number that you said to us to call, but that's fine. It's all working now. And let me just ask you this.
Perfect.
Yeah, let me just ask you this. I mean, if you go to the website and look at it, the Brio slogan is "Safer Sockets, Smarter Homes." Okay, so why don't you heard me kind of introduce it, but why don't you tell us a little bit about Brio itself?
So the Brio product, what came about so that we would be able to help virtually eliminate shock and provide a level of safety in a home that isn't there. It's outdated, 100-year-old technology that virtually hasn't been changed since it's originally been patented and put out there for our use, for consumer use. So there's about 3 billion plus outlets in just homes across America. And it's like having loaded weapons throughout your home. Unless you have a tiny little either plastic cover, which kids just pop off anyways, there's no protection in your home against electrical hazards, being shocked at the outlets or through a cord. So what we've done as Brio is create an outlet that is safe. It operates completely opposite of how normal outlets that are in your homes today operate. They're always constantly on. The Brio is always off. It's only on when, number one, it recognizes that there's an appropriate plug, and once something's plugged into it, it's still not powered until the appliance actually demands power. So it's always off. So you could come up to it and put a paper clip in it. We've demonstrated all kinds of things, putting a live open wire, and you're not shocked at all. So, we have safety measures in the outlet that provide a level of safety that's never been there. And in addition to that, I mean, that's really our competitive advantage in the market, is that we wanted to provide a level of safety that's not there. But more so, it also helps automate your home with our mobile technology and mobile app that you can access from your smartphone, tablet, home, or computer at work. You can monitor your outlets and find out, what the levels are. If there's a water event, you're alerted. It sends you an alert to your phone. You can check on the outlets and turn them on and off from the app. So you have a level of automation that's never been at the outlet as well. And of course, we have things on our product roadmap that will also enhance the outlet and the features that'll be provided at the outlet as well. It's a source of power, so can have a lot of stuff in there, a lot of fun stuff.
Okay, so now basically, so the technology. Tell us a little bit about the technology. How does it work?
So within the outlet itself, there's an IR sensor, which is an infrared sensor, and that recognizes when an appropriate plug is put into an outlet. So at that point, it raises to from 0 volts when it's completely off. When you put a plug in it gets to 24 volts and basically primes the outlet. And that still does not provide a level of voltage that would shock anyone. And then once an appliance is turned on and demands power, a microcontrol unit within the outlet recognizes when we need to provide power, and only then will the Brio outlet provide power to the plug that's in there and into the appliance.
Really, that is so. Is this part of the Internet of Things? I mean, is the Brio internet connected?
Absolutely. So also within there, it communicates wirelessly to the sensors, the BrioLED sensors, like you said, that monitor for water, carbon monoxide, smoke, and fire. And then it also uses Zigbee to, Zigbee communicates, to the sensors, and then Wi-Fi communicates from the outlet to your wireless router or your internet connection at home, and then sends alerts to your phone, and then also allows you to access and check on the sensors and the outlet anywhere that you're at in the world.
All right, so now give us a scenario of how I would use the Brio. Let's say an internet example of how I would use that to, and why I would want to do something like that.
Okay. So, an example of why you would want to access it or why it would access you. Well, let's start with the
Sure.
first part of that, which would be, so say you have a teenage daughter at home who, uh, and this is a scenario that I would have that I would love to implement right away. And say they weren't doing well at school, and instead of them being on the internet or using all of their different devices, you could access your outlets within the room and turn them off and provide no power to that room so that they could actually concentrate on doing homework.
Yeah. Okay.
Or, yeah. Or say you wanted to check to see if you had something leaking in your in your garage. You had your washer and dryer, and you had a plumber out, and they had fixed a leak, and you wanted to check to see if that thing actually was working after you've run your wash the next time after it's been fixed. You can check your water sensor through the mobile app and say yes, no water event is happening, so I must not have a leak there.
Interesting. Now, what's the difference between Brio Safe and Brio Smart?
So the Brio Safe is our standalone product that is just providing the safety features. So it has the IR sensor, the microcontrol unit within it, and that provides a level of safety from electrical shock hazards. The Brio Smart is our outlet that also has Zigbee and Wi-Fi enabled components within it, so that communicates with the sensors and then also with the mobile app, so that it can alert you to any events that happen in your home. So it also provides that the basic safety, Brio safety features, but it's enhanced with the Wi-Fi and mobile app features.
Okay. All right.
So just to kind of deviate here, how much electricity can you put through one of these outlets? Like, if I wanted to, let's say, run my entire computer and I have a couple peripherals set up, I have like a USB, I have a power squid. Like, can I route all that through this, or is this simply for one or two standalone products to be put in there?
No, it's like it operates just like your standard outlet, but it only provides power when it knows that it needs to. So whatever you can run on a regular 120 volt outlet that you have at home is what you can use on a Brio outlet. So it's smart.
Yeah, that's perfect. And also, that kind of jogged my memory. I wanted to ask you. It was a hot topic about a year ago, maybe even longer, that cell phones, when you leave them plugged into a wall normally, they're like little vampires. They just keep taking energy, and there's a big public movement to unplug your phone after you're done. Could this help in that, or is it just continue, or is that just not going to help that problem? If you left your cell phone charger in a Brio outlet, would it just keep sucking power?
Well, I'm not exactly the electrical engineer who's designed it and knows all the things, but I do know that energy management is something that, with a microcontrol unit in it, we currently don't focus on that because we're really focused on the safety. But a lot of people have asked us those questions about energy savings and all of those things, and it's all about programming and adding additional features and to the microcontrol unit and tell it what to do that can do those things. We've got a lot of things in our product roadmap that I'm not exactly at liberty to say right now that could incorporate some of those things. So, but currently it does not.
Yeah, I would guess a programmable outlet would be just as good, if not better, at doing that kind of thing. So I guess that answered that. Thank you.
Okay, so now the unit itself. Let's describe the unit itself. When you look at the average electrical wall outlet, it's rectangular in shape, and and it's pretty. And there's been some I know they got the Decora ones, and they have some that are kind of fashionable. Basically, they're little rectangles. When you look at the Brio, it's complete, really an abandonment of that old technology. It's round, and it's also got like a ring around it. Is there any particular reason why they decided to go something that's like non-standard with the Brio?
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's easy to replace a standard rectangular outlet like the Brio outlet with its round form factor would completely cover any old area that a standard rectangular outlet, had. Any, it would cover that. But the reason that we decided to really be polarizing and differentiate our outlet was because it is revolutionizing existing technology that hasn't been changed for 100 years. We want people to know and differentiate between an outlet that can shock you and an outlet that doesn't, which is the Brio. So, I mean, if I know that there are a lot of companies out there who are with the standard rectangular form factor, but we definitely wanted to differentiate ourselves in the market. And it also serves to help children, adults all know to say, hey, yeah, that's a Brio outlet. It's round. The form factor itself, you just take a look at it and understand that that's a shock-proof outlet. Virtually eliminate shock.
Right. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you a story that I don't think I've ever told anybody before. But when
this is a family program, Craig. So
yes, I know. When I was a little kid, a mere tyke, and it was traumatic enough because I remember it. Quite frankly, I couldn't have been more than 6 or 5 years old. I was
so the 1920s, just setting the scene.
Yeah. And I remember looking at an electrical outlet, and I was curious about it. And I took I think it was a paper clip, and I pushed it in, and I pushed it in one of the little things in the outlet, and I got shocked. I got zapped, and I went, whoa. And I remember that to this day. And I will tell you, I never did it again, but I did that. So if you took an inquisitive child around that age who would take a paper clip or something and stick that into the Brio, would that child also get a shock, or is there some protection in this thing?
Absolutely would not get a shock. The child would be protected from an electrical shock with the Brio outlet. You could put a paper clip in there. You could put a small fork or knife in there, and you would not get a shock. With a standard outlet, I've seen hundreds of videos on YouTube, of kids just being inquisitive or just really not thinking well, and sticking things in there and shocking themselves. And some of them, you could tell that they really were injured or burned, or, there's tons of injuries that occur. But yeah, they would be completely protected.
So my question to you,
from shock.
So my question to you is, how does it do that? I mean, what's different about the Brio when you stick a paper clip or something in there as opposed to a regular outlet? What technology? What is the technology that protects, that it knows that, hey, this is something that shouldn't be in here?
Well, the IR sensor, number one, is the first wave of defense, and that infrared sensor recognizes if that's just a paper clip or if it's actually a plug that is being plugged into the outlet.
All right.
So in addition to that, the microcontrol unit then also recognizes a level of resistance that, number one, the human body does, it's set so that it can recognize between an appliance that's drawing power and the resistance of the human body. So it knows the difference between a human's finger and a toaster.
Okay.
So,
okay, that makes sense. Now, Jocelyn, then my next question to you, Jocelyn, and the proof is in the pudding. Have you ever taken a paper clip and pushed it in just to test it out for yourself to say that this works and it doesn't? Have you ever tested it yourself?
I probably demoed that exact thing and putting it's copper wire and sticking it into the outlet at least 1,000 times.
Oh.
And done it and had people do it during the demo. And I've also, how you have a light socket, an open light socket, will show that, the Brio outlet is on. I'll put a light bulb in there and show that it turns on when I put a light bulb in and the appliance needs power. I'll unscrew the light bulb from the light socket and stick my finger in an open light socket.
Oh,
and show people that, yeah. which please don't do that at home because your outlets at home are not protected. They're not Brio outlets, but I have demoed that at least a couple hundred times as well. So yes, the proof is in the pudding.
That's very
All right. Okay. I'm gonna try to stump you. Okay. What if you're using the
Yeah.
what if you're using the bottom outlet and then you try to stick something in the top one, like let's say a paper clip or a copper wire? Would you get shocked then?
No, they operate independently. In fact, I've also shown that. I was on the local news station a couple of weeks ago here, and I put in that same light socket, put the light bulb in, and it's glowing. The socket below it, I stuck a copper wire in it and showed that that works independently. So
wow.
there you go.
That's impressive. I mean,
That's pretty cool.
that is very cool.
It's a really cool product.
Yeah.
We're super proud of it.
Now tell me a little bit. What is this? Not you're looking at it's round in shape, and then it's surrounded by like it looks to me like a metal colored type of ring that kind of finishes it off. And it looks like there's like a part of that ring to the right of it. It's got like an insert or something. What is that little piece that's part of the ring? It looks like it's a separate piece.
Yeah, actually, there's a radio in there that works, and I believe it's for the Wi-Fi. But there's a radio insert in there and it makes it like an easy access panel for you to get into the outlet without having to uninstall it.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, so there's some electronics in there.
Okay. Now, again, also, I'm going to the website right now, and I recommend everybody go to the Brio House, BRIOHOUSE.com, and check out or you can see Ben's, if you're watching us on the live video stream, you can see an image of the Brio right there. You have three little devices little round devices next to it that looks like they have looks like a fire, looks like a water, let's see, and someone says CO, that's carbon monoxide. What are those, and how do they work in with the Brio system?
So those work with our Brio Smart, and those are our sensors, the Brio sensors, and those each one monitors for something different. Of course, there's three of them, one for the water, one for the carbon monoxide, and one for smoke and fire events that happen at your home.
Mm-hmm.
So those work through using Zigbee, and they communicate with the outlet, and if anything is happening, like your carbon monoxide level rises to a level that's preset and bad for humans, then you'll get an instant alert, both in your home, an audible alert, and then also a mobile alert to either your smartphone, your computer, or your tablet, and let you know, hey, there's a water event or a carbon monoxide levels are rising in your home. You need to go home and take care of that. So
okay,
those are our sensors,
and those sensors can go anywhere in the home. If they use the Wi-Fi built into the house that uses your existing Wi-Fi network in your home.
It sure does. And the sensors can be put under a sink, under your washer, for water events, anywhere for the CO, and then of course smoke, you'd want it a little bit higher, and just depending on how large your home is, that would dictate how many of the Brio Smarts you would need, and then you could have Brio Safe outlets in any exposed areas, and we call it practical placement. So any practical place that you think that might be a hazard to either adults, pets, or children.
Now, there's also a little.
So, and I guess something that we really don't want to gloss over here is that with Brio, you wouldn't just be replacing an outlet; you're also replacing your smoke detector, carbon monoxide detector, water water sensors. Like you could replace all of those, right?
Absolutely, it's a complete home safety system. Yes.
Now, are you compatible with? There are a lot of these home systems that go, for example, that people can you interface with some of the other systems, the alarm systems? Honeywell has them, ADT has them, or is this something that's standalone that would work?
Yeah, well, currently it's standalone, but with the technology that we have embedded in the outlet, we easily can integrate into any of those systems with some programming.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, that's good to know.
So, and that was actually a question from our chat room was, uh, when you update this thing, and everyone knows that you can update the app because that's obviously on your phone, working in that environment and so on. But let's say there comes to a point when there's a newer version that works with other components. Can you push those updates through the internet, or does someone have to go in and either purchase new ones or send them in or something like that?
You know, that's a great question, and actually, I'm unsure of the answer to that one. I would think that we'd be able to push wirelessly any of the updates into the outlets, but I can get back to you guys on that one. So I don't want to misquote the engineers here. So, but I believe that you can. So, and we have that easy access panel on the side where we are able to change some of the microelectronics in there, but I'm unsure at the second. So,
all right.
But I can get back to you guys, and I will.
Sure. I didn't mean to stump you, but I would obviously you're representing your product, but from the other products that we've seen, I would err with you in that you guys could probably push an update through if it's just software. You guys could probably do that. So, but yeah, please do get back to us, and we'll report on it later.
Let me ask you this also. Underneath each of those sensors, the water, the fire, the carbon monoxide, it looks like there's an oblong blue button. A button with like a blue ring or some sort of. What is that for?
Actually, I don't think it's just a decorative piece, but I know that there's a light that emits from that, just like you have your standard outlets, or not outlets, but detectors at home, like your smoke detector has a little red blinking light. That emits a blue light from around the ring of that small silver little oblong shape.
All right. So in other words, it also lets you know that the battery is obviously up and running too. What kind of battery life? What kind of battery life do you get with these detectors?
They're currently in testing, I believe, and I don't want to quote the wrong amount of time, but I know that we've got extended long life batteries that have been installed in them. So the number of years that they are working, I'm not sure on the exact time, but I do know that we worked on putting a long life battery in there. So. All
right, cool. All right. Well, again, you can go to the website and see it at Brio House, BRIOHOUSE.com. What is this? What are the system costs when it will become available? What's going to cost?
Well, we're currently open for pre-sales. We're taking pre-sale orders now for both the entire home safety system and standalone products. We have a pre-sale sale for the Brio Safe, and that's $39, and for the Brio Smart, it's $79. And then the sensors, they range in price based on the sensor that you get, but they'll be available and probably shipping late fall for the Brio Safe, and right after that for the Brio Smart.
All right, and again, and you think that the Brio will be available when? About how soon?
In the fall.
In the fall.
In the fall of 2015. Yep.
Okay. So if you're installing electrical outlets in your home, make sure that you can make sure by putting in round ones, I guess. No, you don't have to. You don't have to anticipate it, because obviously it will fit. It'll retrofit into any electrical outlet. But it looks an amazing product. Looks very, very cool. It looks very high tech. And will it come in different colors, and or is it just going to be white and silver?
Actually, the faceplate is interchangeable, and we're working at doing some different things with either licensing and or just a palette of colors to provide for the faceplate.
Okay.
Coming soon.
All right, coming soon.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, Jocelyn, very informative, very cool technology. And again, you can check it out at at briohouse.com, or go to our website at computeramerica.com, click on our show notes page, and we have a link right to the Brio website, and you can check it out for yourself. Works with your smartphone. It has an app, and check it out. Especially if you're concerned about safety, and who isn't these days? If you have kids or small children, or big children who are just curious, either way, anticipate it. Make sure this is something that I would be in a very nice and in a smart home, or any home for that matter. Jocelyn, thank you so much for being with us here tonight on Computer America.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Have a great night.
And you too. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So there you go. Again, Brio. Very cool technology. Coming up in the next hour, we're going to have computer and technology news, brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. And we've got some interesting stories coming up. One of them is Portal is turning into a game of hyperdimensional pinball. Portal.
The mind bender that is Portal the game, with all the fun of a traditional pinball game. So you can expect things to go where you didn't think they would.
Right. And if it wasn't enough with Surface, we got a story here. Microsoft is getting ready to release the Surface 3 tablet, and they're offering up to $150 trade-in for your older model. The Surface 3, okay? A shiny new Surface. And also, for you science people, the furthest galaxy from Earth has been discovered. These stories and more coming up in our computer news and technology section of Computer America. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission of Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is to help build a sustainable, no-kill community where no dogs or cats are ever killed for population control, where true euthanasia is reserved only for animals who are irremediably suffering, or for animals who are truly a threat to society and with no hope of rehabilitation. Brother Wolf staff and volunteers go door to door, neighborhood by neighborhood, to educate citizens about local resources available for at-risk pets and to help their families connect with those resources. Brother Wolf's community-based approach to no-kill helps keep family pets healthy, happy, and in their homes and out of the local shelter system in the first place. For more information or to make a tax-deductible donation to this wonderful 501c3 organization, visit their website at www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they are available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
Okay, but 1 minute later, we would have had a mark you tardy. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bullet Review for Computer America, this time the Ryobi 10-inch drill press. Hey, pal, want to buy a hole? Some marketers will tell you that people don't buy drills, they buy holes, but need drills to make them. And as you know, we've reviewed plenty of drills, and so much tech upkeep tends to involve holes. Note, though, that those have always been freehand drills, so those holes sometimes end up a little off the mark or at a slightly unanticipated angle. It was time to do a whole lot better, so we got in a Ryobi DP103L 10-inch drill press to review. It has an adjustable height table assembly and a 3-handle spring-loaded control for bringing the chuck and the drill bit it carries down to the piece you want to drill. That's all pretty normal. Under a top cover, you can adjust a drive belt's position on various radius motor and spindle pulleys for speeds of 610, 900, 1500, 2075, or 2800 RPM, as appropriate to the hardness and thickness of the material you want to drill. Advice is in the manual. A removable plastic piece can disable the power switch to lock the drill off. Separate switches control 2 features we really like: an LED work light and a laser X that crosses exactly where the drill bit will enter. The manual tells you how to tweak that if it ever goes astray. Bottom line, the Ryobi DP103L 10-inch drill press is a whole bunch of useful for creating more useful holes. This is Marty Winston with the News Tips Bullet Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Here at 34 minutes past the hour, in the second, or the last segment, we had Brio home with us, or Brio house with us. They were talking about their smart outlets. We unfortunately stumped her. We'll get back to you on the answer to that. Yeah. But otherwise, it's a very, very cool product. The thing that she said at the very beginning about not the outlet not being changed since its inception is reason enough to look into replacing yours, because they're, as Craig has demonstrated when he was a little tyke, they're not safe.
No, they're not.
Traditionally, they're not safe. But the Brio house, especially if you're trying to baby proof, better than the little plastic caps, because obviously you can just flick those little caps right off. But the Brio home seems smarter and obviously a better solution. So definitely check it in. Check it out. I'm sorry.
Check it in.
I don't know what check it in is, but check it out if you have little ones or stupid ones around. But little ones, I'm not saying little ones are stupid. I'm saying that there are little ones, and then there are another subcategory of stupid. But no. For now, though, in the second hour, if you're done checking out all the great features that we have up on our new video feed, please check out our website. We're obviously changing it. Yes, we know right now it still says the live IRC chat room. We're now using Talkio. It's a completely different service, not IRC whatsoever.
Yeah.
We're also going to be migrating to a new website when we get all the kinks worked out. Yeah. Hopefully next Monday is the target, and we're going to try to hit that. But just check out Computer America. We're changing all the time.
You know what I want to know?
What's that?
We got Carissa Green in the chat room, and I want to know
why. You're so fascinated with that.
Why we can't see her on the online list. Anyway, let's do some computer and technology news and
all right.
Interesting stories to talk about. Okay. Tonight's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system for free. That's right. Everything at slimwareutilities.com is completely free. No freemium model. Basically it is what it is. It is completely free. So there's no reason in the world why you shouldn't download everything that you see at slimwareutilities.com. Keep them, have them in reserve, ready to use. But we use them here at the Crossman household. You're going to really love them, and you'll thank us for it. slimwareutilities.com. Okay. And our first story of the evening is Microsoft is releasing its Surface 3 tablet, and they're offering up to $150 trade-in for older models.
Check that out.
Yeah, that's great. Now this is the non-pro version. Okay, this is Surface 3 Pro, but basically the Surface 3 is Microsoft's, thinnest.
Oh, and by the way, Max and PC, Paul Lilly, also up on the video feed. So
yes. Oh, good. Oh, when we do computer news, you can see all that. Good. But basically the pricing starts at about $500. Although you can knock off up to $150 on the cost by trading in your Surface 2 or Surface RT.
This is a great way to get rid of your Surface RTs, because obviously RTs not really full-fledged Surface
Well, they wouldn't run Windows. I mean, the full.
They don't run Windows 8.1.
No.
Was the point, and they are non-upgradable to Windows 10.
Exactly. That's another important, because basically it was really a hobbled version of the Surface. They wanted to get something out fast, and so it would not run the full implementation of Windows. It just wouldn't. It had this special version. Now, then with the 2 and everything, they and the 2 Pro, basically it would run any version of Windows, the full implementation. And according to this, the Surface 3 will do the same. It's got Wi-Fi built in. Now you can get a 64 gig storage for about $499, and if you want to up that to 128 gigs of storage
it's more storage. It's twice the storage as well as twice the RAM. So it's obviously going to be running a bit smoother on the higher option one.
For $100 more, I'd go for that. Really, that goes to my mantra that says, when you're about ready to buy a computer, spend as much as you can, because you're staving off obsolescence, and and this is no different. So there it is. So I guess the Surface 3 also has a 10.8-inch display, full HD 1080p resolution. It uses the Intel Core Atom processor. It has USB 3.0 ports, a single one, a mini display port, and micro SD card reader, a headset jack, cover port, micro USB charging port. So it has a lot of nice features that are kind of baked in. All right. Now, if you want to compare this to the Surface Pro 3, that has a 10-inch display, and let's see, an Intel Core i3, i5, or i7.
Well, no, the Surface Pro 3 instead of just the Surface 3, you get about 2 more inches of real estate on your screen, as well as obviously a higher resolution, faster processor, and a slightly lower battery life, probably because of the obvious the high resolution and the processor, everything leading to using more energy, lower battery life. So
okay, and also they have a student deal, okay, or if you're a parent of a student or even a faculty member, I think that covers about 95% of the world. You can save 10% by shopping through Microsoft's Education Store. So,
and I just felt like looking it up because they mentioned 4G LTE here, and I was looking for the release date for 5G.
Really?
Yeah, and I know that the release date is supposed to be a much faster version of 4G or 4G LTE. Like, it's going to allow 1 gigabit per second up and down at the same time for a number of people.
Well, there you go. Anyway, it's obviously
it's 5G network. Obviously not yet. They're spending $600 million in research and development. That was Hawaii actually offered. So that was back in 2013. Should be sometime in the next couple of years. Keep an eye out for it. 5G networks. It's not really related to the story, but it's worth mentioning. 5G networks are on the way.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. So what you got?
My next one is obviously about space, because like we said, every month has a theme. This month's theme is space, hence the background that I currently have. And now currently have. And apparently they found the furthest galaxy from Earth.
A galaxy far. No, wait. Is this a tie-in to Star Wars and a galaxy far, far away?
Yeah, this is actually the galaxy where Star Wars takes place.
Okay, all right.
But apparently, so it's more than 13 billion light years away from Earth, and it's in an ancient galaxy. It's named EGS ZS81.
It's catchy.
If you're looking for an easy name, go to another galaxy. And it's an extremely luminous cluster of stars. It's the furthest galaxy we've seen. Apparently, it was identified by Hubble and Spitzer space telescopes. It was they had the exact location using the Keck Observatory in Hawaii. Apparently they identified it by the light shifts, indicate that it's barely younger than the Big Bang.
Wow.
Yeah, the universe, or at least the Big Bang, occurred 13.8 million years ago. This galaxy we can see is 13 billion light years away. Therefore, it is at least 13 billion years old.
So it's only the universe is only 0.8 billion years older than.
Actually, they think that the galaxy formed 670 million years after the Big Bang.
So yeah. I mean,
so if anything, it's really one of the first galaxies to ever form. Because 700 million years sounds like a long time, but when we're talking about the time, the scale that we're talking about, that's only like the first tiny chunk of the universe. And so not only is it one of the oldest, one of the furthest away, but we know that it's actually, that's all I know. It's it's one of the oldest, one of the furthest away, but really cool because it was birthed only about 700 million years after the universe. I'm sure that's thrown more than one model out the window of when galaxies started forming. Because the Milky Way, I think, started, I want to say, about 7 billion years ago.
Well, the Milky Way is the galaxy that we find our solar system. Yes.
Okay. And we have a relatively young galaxy compared to many others because we're looking at it. Oh, and also, I just want to point out that because the light takes 13 billion years to travel to us, that doesn't mean that the galaxy could still be around. It's just that by any measurable, any measurable relevance, it still exists to us. But let's say we spent 13 billion years getting there at the speed of light. It may not be there in 13 billion years. It may not be there today.
Well, if we left now, what time is it? We left now. No.
Yeah.
It wouldn't.
And we got there at 11:45 p.m. 13 billion years later. It may not be there now, but really cool that they were able to find something that far away. Where not only are we finding our closest neighbors, but we're meeting neighbors across the pond. Like this is as far as one can go. So kind of cool. And it matches our theme of space.
Yeah. Well, I guess you can't find anything much older. I mean, because then the universe hadn't been formed yet. We probably can't find anything farther away. I mean,
well, well, first of all, never say never. That's a no-no. But it's going to be harder to find things further away because obviously, the redshifts is going to be so much darker. I'm sure the light is very weak by the time it gets to us. But I can't imagine a galaxy forming, that soon after the Big Bang. All matter, all energy, all everything in the universe coming from a singularity to exploding to the size of the universe. A galaxy forming, 500 million years after that, it's hard to imagine.
Well, why do you think it formed? Maybe there's a supermassive black hole at its center that's kind of caused it to coalesce.
Of what? The universe?
No, this galaxy. The
galaxy. The thing at the center of most galaxies is a supermassive black hole.
Or at least a black hole, maybe not supermassive. Yeah, there's one. I want to. Yeah,
I don't think just a regular run. I say regular run of the mill black hole, like it's an everyday thing. But I don't think just a regular black. Like it would have to be a supermassive black hole at the center of most galaxies.
Well, that's what they think, that there's one at least at the center. That's how the galaxies form. It's part of the formation process. To form a galaxy is that you have to have a black hole at the center.
And I'm sure we're talking completely over our own heads right now, but. Yeah, check out the article from Popular Science. Yet again, very cool. So, next story.
Okay, well, this, I don't know. I want to say this is borders on ridiculous, but I guess it's all from your point.
We love ridiculous.
No, I mean, the EU, that's the European Union Court, finds that Skype, their name, Skype, is too similar to Sky broadcasters. Now, come on. Evidently, Microsoft, because they now own Skype, has lost another legal battle against British Sky Broadcasting after a European court found Skype's name to be too similar to the latter's. The judges also ruled that the service's cloud-like logo would further increase the likelihood of the element Sky being recognized within the world element Skype. Is no one going to cut Microsoft a break here or what? So now we're going to have to call it something else? I mean...
No, just to skip to the end of this article, they don't have to change the name. It's not like there's going to be Skype EU now or Skype European or a skip or something like that. All that means is that they can't trademark it because it looks too much like a similar trademark already. They don't have to change the name. They just can't trademark it to, especially with that logo looking like that.
So what are they going to do? Are they going to change the logo, change the name? What are they going to do? What are the options?
Well, let's see. They have a little picture right here. All they have to do is just flick off that little TM, which means trademark, and they're good to go. They don't have to trademark it. It means other people can use it for their purposes, and they don't have any legal recourse. But they don't technically have to change anything.
It just seems to be that Microsoft is making some good progress, and then. I mean, if they can't,
don't say that mean old EU.
I mean,
Sky Network has been around before Skype, so I would side more with Sky on this one.
Would you confuse Sky with Skype, Ben?
You know what? I'm not. Well, personally, no, because I know both of those.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get too close, people are protective of their intellectual property. So, Apple, I'm sure, shoots these things down left and right. Microsoft shoots these things down left and right. It's just Sky doing what they have to keep their name.
Okay, so with the final decision is basically just can't put TM next to it.
Pretty much.
Okay. So they don't have to change the name. Okay.
No, they don't have to change the name because, Skype is well known. Sky is well known. I don't think anyone should really mess them up, but it's all legalese.
Yeah. Well, okay. Anyway, we thought we would report that to you. Just in case you were confused.
So we have two articles here that I really want to get to. The first one I have up on my screen right now. Apparently there's a new merger in town. The other one involves the NSA and how they've collected so much data that they can't sort it all, and they've pretty much rendered themselves useless because they have too much information. But we're going to focus on this one right now because apparently mergers, Valentine's Day was like 2 or 3 months ago, but couples are getting together all over the place. It's scary. So this in the wake of the I think it was Time Warner and was it Comcast?
Yeah. Okay.
Time Warner and Comcast, I think, wanted to merge. And because they said they didn't share a market.
Yeah, they didn't want to merge, and they said no.
Yeah, that they didn't share a market, they didn't share any competition, so it was perfectly legal for them to merge. By the way, the number for that, I know I'm jumping around. The number for that, by the way, if you wonder how much it costs two multi-billion-dollar companies to effectively try to merge and then fail at it, it cost them $334 million trying to get that whole thing pushed through and then not have it succeed. Cost them a pretty penny. But there's a new one on the block, and apparently Netflix is trying to block it, where AT&T and DirecTV are trying to merge. And that hits close to home because at least in my home, I currently use AT&T, and we switched from DirecTV.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
These two are obviously very direct competitors, and I'm trying to think. I think there's only Comcast left that would be an option for television. So so Netflix asked the FCC to block it. Apparently, they're going for a pending $48 billion merger of AT&T and DirecTV. And apparently, the concerns it has is, quote, while we are participating in the government's review, we are not opposing the merger. We've been highlighting concerns about AT&T's broadband practices and need for appropriate remedies since last December. So I guess their main stickler is, especially with Netflix opposing it, is that Netflix is obviously getting throttled because so many people are using it such high bandwidths, and they don't feel like they want this whole merger to go through without their needs addressed first, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't get over $48 billion. That's such a crazy number. So let's see. According to regulated disclosures, Tuesday, blah, 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 20 FCC officials. That's about all we have right now.
Yeah.
I guess another part of the bigger news is apparently, hey, everyone, AT&T and DirecTV are proposing a merger.
Really? That's it?
Yeah, no, that was in the title of the article. So it's Netflix blocking it, $48 billion. They're trying to merge. Personally, not for it, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it goes the way of.
Will the consumer benefit from this merger, or is this strictly a corporate thing? From what you can see,
from what I can see, no, because DirecTV, in my head, DirecTV has always been the option you have when you don't really have that many other cable options. Because DirecTV, yes, you have to lay down a couple lines, but it's Dish. You come out, you get that installed, you're good to go.
That's right.
And that's always been a television. That's always been an option where you didn't have a choice. You got DirecTV.
Yeah, in other words, you can get anywhere you have a line of sight of the sky, you're fine. You don't have any connection problems. But with Netflix, it requires an internet connection of some sort, and that could be who knows what.
No, but AT&T requires a cable run up to your house, especially for their broadband and especially for their fiber optic networks. You have to run that, right up to your house and into your house.
That's true.
So there's obviously a conflict there, where really two major providers of television, people were concerned about the Time Warner and Comcast because that was two major providers of internet. This is two major providers of television. So, and I think right now there's not really that many options people have, and to merge two of them again. For the exact same reason as Comcast and Time Warner, I'm going to give the exact same reason for AT&T and DirecTV. It doesn't help with competition whatsoever. It limits competition by a huge margin.
Well, you see, if you're lucky to live in an area like we are here, where we have Uverse, which is AT&T, you can get DirecTV, you can get Comcast cable. You have all the options.
Again, you say lucky, but we get three. Like, at the end of the day, we have three options for television.
Yeah, well, that's
lucky us. Look at our three options. Wow, so much competition.
Well, that's right, and you can get
and to take two of those and merge them into one.
That's bad. Yeah. Okay. Well, you wouldn't want to do that.
And so at the end of the day, a lot of people they're going to get one less, and which potentially might just be two.
Mm-hmm. Yes, no, Uverse, not Universe, Uverse, which is the AT&T's delivery.
Yeah, we have our qualms with Uverse as well, but I hear if we say anything bad about them, they're going to cut our feed. So,
we have 50 megabits per second, by the way, which is fairly reliable.
Yeah. So they say.
Yes, they do. Okay. Well, I'll tell you, again, I'm for anything that promotes healthy competition. And when big companies like that want to merge, I can't think of any good reason to support something like that.
Like if they wanted to work together, that'd be one thing.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, a merger, very few mergers end with the two breaking back up and competing against each other again.
Yeah. Well, all right. We're pretty much out of time here. But again, I want to thank both of our guests for Brio, Justin Painter, and Science for the Masses, Gabriel Lucina and Jeff Tibbetts, for being with us here on tonight's show. Thank you to all of them for being here with us on Computer America tonight. Interesting program, I think.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. Now, coming up tomorrow night, it's the first Wednesday of the month. That means Mike Cermak's going to be here with us. TechGuy.org is going to be with us. It's going to be open mic night. Anything you want to know about computers and technology, we will entertain. And Mike will be here to help us. And Mike's always got some cool stuff. We may talk about, what we're doing with the website with Mike. I think that actually be a cool idea.
Mike Cermak does run his own web hosting service, so I mean, he's the one to talk to about it.
Yeah, maybe we should get him on here and comment and talk about the new website and what he thinks about it, and talk about
90 seconds.
and about things like shifting domains and all that great stuff. And that should be fun. And then, of course, in hour 2, we'll have computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities. They are the official optimization software of Computer America. Hey, listen, this was a fun show. I know Aaron, as our webmaster, Aaron Crossman, he's going to be on the following show. It would have been fun to get him on with Mike Cermak, together, talking about.
Yeah, probably.
But maybe Aaron will join us tomorrow
60 seconds.
to talk about the new website. I think it'd be a fun program. And of course the website we're going to try to get up and running by Monday. Hopefully that'll happen. And
Monday's the goal. We have a lot to do this weekend. We're very, very busy, but hopefully we can bring you a better looking website by Monday.
Yes. Okay. Again, thanks everybody for being with us here tonight. We enjoyed having you here, and Ben and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night, same time and same station. And we'll see you tomorrow night. So until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman, hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night, everyone.
10 seconds. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, everybody, thanks for watching us on our live Computer America video stream. And Ben and I, as I said, we'll see you tomorrow night with Mike Cermak. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.
Night.